New viewers to Family TV, which is a Church of Uganda TV. This is Parenting, a program that runs every Monday from 6:30 to 7. My name is Reverend Asaf Kauma Mabirizi, and we discuss different topics every time we come. Today our topic is dressing code in relation to or in line with parenting. I want to remind you, our listeners, parenting is simply raising your own children in order for them to become independent. And happily independent children happen to be because of good parenting. Today we are discussing dressing code, and I have a guest with me in the studio. She's one of the head teachers in our schools, Church of Uganda schools. At the right moment, I'll ask her to introduce herself. But let's first introduce this to you, our listeners. A dressing code is a set of rules, often written with regard to what clothing groups of people must wear. Dressing codes are created out of social perceptions and norms and vary based on purpose, circumstances, and occasions. But in simplicity, it is the way you dress for a particular occasion. There are 4 types of dressing codes. This is American. Business profession. Different businesses have their codes. And then we have business casual. Casual is not really a code, but you dress to be comfortable. And then we have smart casual. You dressed smartly. That is dressing to be appearing to be smart. And then casual to dress simply to be comfortable. Africans in general, our traditional dressing code describes that we should dress conservatively. 80%, according to my opinion, non-transparent body cover. 80%. Today, and the way we dress, it seems people prefer less body cover, which is dangerous for our young people, especially children, boys and girls, especially women. Women today dress not so well, not so good or exemplary to our children. You find 40% and others 20%, if not 10% body cover. Very common among young children, my young girls, especially those at campus, in different campuses, but also secondary schools, especially out of school, but at home. But worse still, even our parents or young parents, you find them dressed not appropriately to our children. There's a saying, I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but closely. What you put on speaks a lot about you. What you put on speaks a lot about you. It actually describes who you are. There are 4 types of parenting or styles of parenting. And these styles determine how you groom your children. Number 1 is permissive parenting. A style where parents easily permissively allow their children to do whatever they want. You know, the children want to dress, and you allow your children to dress any way they want. The children want to eat anything, it is their will. You are not involved as a parent in decision making. That is permissive, and that is not considered a good style of parenting. The other type is authoritative, considered to be the best. Here, the parent has to be involved in decision making of his or her children. The children want to dress in a particular style, but you are involved. If the daughter is putting on a poor skirt, you'll say no. If you're choosing to take that skirt, then put a scarf around your body, or go and change. And so you are involved. Authoritative means the parent is involved in the decision making of his or her children, and that is considered to be one of the best parenting style. The other is neglecting or uninvolved. Many parents today are not involved in the development of their children, in the decision making of their children. They have neglected completely. In many ways, school fees, eating habits, decision making, clothing, and so forth. So that is neglecting, which is not so good as far as parenting is concerned. The last one is authoritarian. These are dictators. A parent will dictate anything as far as development of their children is concerned. They decide the type of clothes their children will put on, decide on what to eat, decide on where to go. That is being authoritarian. It's not considered the best, because ideally, parents, you're meant to be good listeners to your children. The more you listen to your children, they are likely to listen to you when you grow old. Very interesting. Studies have found that authoritative parents are more likely to raise confident children who achieve academic success, have better social skills, and are more capable of problem solving. Parents, I hope you're listening carefully. If you choose to parent your children authoritatively, they'll have the three. One, academic success. They'll achieve it. They'll have better social skills, the way they relate with others in the communities, but even after growing at work, workstations, and elsewhere in the community. And lastly, they'll be capable of problem solving. Our life is associated with challenges, so your children need to grow up appropriately in order to be able to solve life problems. I want to give an opportunity to our guest to greet us and introduce herself, and then we will go forward. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Reverend Asaf. I'm so happy and blessed to be one of the speakers today. I welcome all our viewers on Family TV, Church of Uganda TV. My name is Suzan Wamala, Sserunkuuma. I'm a headmistress, a teacher. Before actually being a headmistress, I'm a teacher. And a headmistress of a school in Mukono Diocese called Mukono Primary School. At the same time, I'm the chairperson of all head teachers in Mukono Diocese primary schools, around 239 schools that are found in our diocese. I'm happy to be here.
You're most welcome. I'm also informed or learned that you are a daughter to the former Eli Wamala.
Yeah, that I'm also going to refer to as one of the people who are remembered for the best dress code.
Wow, that's great. Now, I hope you know how to sing, Mama Susan.
I think I know how to sing.
We expected someone to come up after the great man. Up to now, nobody has come.
I'm happy to inform you that I have some siblings that took on that career.
That's good.
Yeah, they live in UK and another one is in the US. They took on Dad's talent and the legacy is on.
That is great.
Yes.
Now, to inform you more, our listeners, our viewers, she's a female educationist who has transformed UPE standards in Mukono. Being the head teacher of that school, Mukono Boarding, she transformed this school, the primary school, from the least desirable to the most admirable school. There are problems associated with the poor dressing among young boys and girls, but we shall discuss those ahead of time. I want to ask Mama Suzan.
Yes, please.
What is your view about the increasing poor dressing among young children?
First of all, as you have described, the dress code, these are set rules.
Okay.
That go within the clothing, the type of clothing, and you mentioned the types of clothing. But when we are in the institutions, when you're at work,
yes,
because even if a grown-up, Reverend, you have your wardrobe.
Absolutely.
And your wardrobe has got sets. The wardrobe has got official dressing, the office kind of dress.
Okay.
You have the casual that you put on, you know what to put on Friday over the weekend.
Yeah.
And also you can know what to put on church. And all these are described according to the circumstances or to the areas or the places where we go to. For instance, when you look at the part of the church where, because the church is sacred, that means the dress is supposed to be presentable, it's supposed to be of dignity, and you find that even when it is us the ladies, we normally recommend to be on the lower knees,
yes,
so that when you stand to sing, because the place is sacred. And then we also have functional. Tugenda kwanjula, buli omu bonna omulaba mu busuuti ogenda kwanjula.
Yes.
Bwe tuba ku mbaga, it tells your category. Bw'oba omuzadde ojja kwambala kanzu, bw'oba maama ojja kwambala busuuti, bw'oba emperekeze ojja kwambala obwemasaamasa.
Ate ku mbaga,
era embaga ku reception yawo kakati awo we bitandikira okwonooneka.
Yes.
Embaga yonna omugole aba ayambadde gawuni ye.
Okay.
I'm so happy waliwo we nawulirako rule nga waliwo oba mwawulo oba bishop nga tagatta bantu bateebise
when the upper is open.
Era oluusi abakebezi babeerawo n'akagoye ke bakola ki kitegeeza kitya tolina kwesittaza. Bwe tutunulira dressing code tulina omuntu omulamba ebintu bye tuyita private parts. Ekigambo ekyo private kikulu nnyo. Private kitegeeza tekirabibwa bantu balala. Okiraba okujjako omuntu ng'okuze, you have your partner yalina okulaba ebyo ebitundu byo. Kati mu baana era baba bakula oyinza okulaba Reverend at times when the children are young, 2 to 1 year, they can even undress and walk. Yes. But as they are growing up, ogenda okulaba nga babeera exactly their privacy nga takyanaabira wonaabira nga tera mugambye. Kati what has brought the poor dressing? Ekisooka abantu balowooza gwe mulembe. They feel gwe mulembe. Why? Because they associate themselves with countries ezirimu nabo abatalina morals. Okiraba balowooza gwe mulembe.
The Western countries.
Exactly, which are granted that. Then olwokuba balowooza gwe mulembe, ate kyenjagala omanye dress code doesn't mean only the physical shirt or the physical dress.
What else?
It starts from let's talk of the type of hair.
So it's the general appearance.
It's the general appearance of a person. And that is why you say that your dress code tells what you are. Kati wenkulaba ngoze n'ebiviiri. Oba byebiviiri simanyi. Bamu rasta. Yes, kale you chose that kind. But does it fit? What example does it give your child? Okiraba era ddala bw'onooba Reverend muwala wo n'akuleetera omwami
ng'asibye ebiviiri
nze tazija nazo azisalako tamwanjula ewange tasobola kugenda olw'okubanga aba akulidde olwedde mu maka agayina gatunulidde abantu bwe bambala, abantu bwe balira social values, era ajja kumanya mami oyo omulenzi tajja kukola ki kumukkiriza. Ate yinza n'okuba tajja musanga nga tebalina we bakwataganira. Kati so dress code kyenkugambye nti kituuka ku nviiri, ku ngeri gy'oyambadde, wearing to the extent nti kati ngaffe abasomesa waliwo embye tutayambala okiraba kakati for example teacher the kind of hair you have matters. You won't go in a class ng'enviiri ozisibye zino za green eno za red. I remember one time I had a friend ng'atandika okusomesa in my school naye kati ngaliwo omukwano gwange yayanguwa mangu nnyo nangamba ati mu afternoon ngenda kusiba nviiri. So she came back with this kind of hair and the kind of hair ng'asibye enviiri mpanvu nnyo ataddemu a lot of dangling
She's coming
things.
to teach.
Yeah, and then I looked at her. Myself, I felt so destructive. I said, are you coming to teach? So when she entered class, all the children laughed. And one of the daring child, Namugamba, teacher looks like a ghost.
Oh.
What happened? Class yonana ajikulia chiboko. Naye who was in wrong? Olwokubanga teacher ono teyayambala appropriate hair. The teacher herself. So kati teacher bobera uchiringanga omwawule. I'm happy now when I see female reverends. Naye oluusi oyinza ogenda okwateninga service ng'enviiri engeri gyazikoze n'ogamba nti kati yamukoze enviiri ezo bwe yabadde azimukola babadde banyumya mboozi ki. Remember this one is a reverend. And then comes up with a gelled hair. So that kind of dress code, you become a distraction. As me, as a congregant in your church, I'll start looking at you like, really? That is too much? You understand? So, everybody know your dress code. Kati olusi poor dress code, poor is relative. Because when you say what is poor, I think the right word we can use here on dress code is appropriate.
Appropriate.
Yeah, what is appropriate and wearing to be a responsible person. So netuka, tuvudde ku nviiri, tuse, kati waliwo ebintu ebirina kyo nga ffe abakyala, nti abakyala twambala makeup. That is us. We are like, it is part of us.
Makeup is part of
us, the dress code. But now, what kind of makeup? Kat if I'm a teacher, I don't think I will enter in class and get ready, because I'll be conspicuous. I will distract the children and they will not understand what I'm teaching. They will only look at the take a couple swings or whereas a person like an artist can look like a ghost. I don't know what I can call it. I'm sorry to say.
So makeup is part
of a lady, and you cannot.
And it should be appropriate.
Exactly, and it should be appropriate. The kind of lipstick you are wearing, the kind of powder you are wearing, because any woman at least would look nice because tuli bimuli. Ochiraba naye bimuli ebyatete tukisussa. Kati ne tukirira kunjala. You cannot go to class as a teacher.
Yes.
No garment enjala nzitize pink. Actually, we are not supposed even to put varnish. And if we decide to put varnish, we have to see that varnish wa fetale kana. Ochiraba tuddayo profession. The dress code matches with your profession. So a teacher wachitale kana. Omusomesa yenna bw'ayingira mu class should avoid distraction. Remember, when you go to class, you've gone to teach, you've gone to deliver matter, which the children must master, and then they go with their career. Kati omwana olina avoiding ekintu kyonna ekimu distracting. Nabanga is just ready to take in the content.
In other words, every part of you should be appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. Kati, you have big bumps and you're wearing a tight skirt. You understand? You can't. You cannot wear a dress sleeveless when you go to class. You can't.
You're bending so much on the side of females.
Exactly.
And they also male
I'm
teachers.
Coming to that. So the teacher is busy writing. Abamu teba shaving. You are making kids to nickname you. You are distracting them. That's why, to avoid all that, it's better you don't go with sleeveless as a teacher. Atera bobera teacher, even the dress, let it reach your knees. Choke inzo okubwa. Kati wokuta muredo oli mu mini. Teacher, you should not put on high heels. Kubango very quick. You are distracting the children. You are going to stand in a class for 40 minutes. Even your health, namagulugo. So just dress appropriate and modest. You are smart. Kati ate ku dress code nekiddayo ku branding yourself and style. Kubanga nakyo kikulu.
Toyina kubeera mukaddoli old fashion.
Yeah, ate no style kakati teachers mu class blouse erimu ebimuli ate ne skirt. Kati abana bajja kutuma nva zinjikidde. How do you dressing otya? If the skirt is plain, the blouse can be flowered. So ekyo kiri ku style and choice. Okiraba art. Actually kiri ku art. Kati wengenda ku baami simanya bino bi balance. Teacher tayinza kwambala
especially
balance.
tight
panties. You look at your front is so huge. The children will start laughing.
In fact, I have a student. I talk to students, and one student approached me and told me her problem was she was crashing on a teacher. Seriously.
Because of that. So, kakati teacher, why do you wear fittings? Manyabu fitting. You become a distraction. By the time you enter, the zip is going down. And for the children, Boba Sekabsesi, and to nickname you. And because you, the teacher, you don't accept the fact that your dress code is nasty, you end up punishing the children. And then this kind of hair. Of course, we know who are the people to plait the hair. It is the women. So what is it? Because when you go outside, they have their culture, the Rastas. And that Rastaism is not in our culture. You understand? So you as a man, you cannot palm your hair. You can't treat your hair. You'll be mistaken for another, bisex, okay? And that's what means that now you see boys are wearing earrings. It could be a style when they are not homosexuals, but you will be mistaken for that kind of character.
Yes.
And then also, when we are looking at the dress code, even like men, you think of the future. Right now, you are still young. You come on stage, you bring out the breasts and all that. Naye bw'olikula. Kati nze mpa example of my dad was an artist, evergreen. Naye by the time he passed on, yalina abako, yalina abazzukulu, yalina abakabaana. Imagine ng'omwana we akugirayo, mami, daddy boy ayambalanga bw'ati ng'ajja ku stage. No. So you have also to have some questions to answer as you grow up, that you are mother and this child is growing up and you're dancing naked on stage and all people yell and you think you are the top of the world. I don't think that is because even I pity these young ladies, the artists. Ogendo okulaba as naked on stage. Nga ate n'abamawulire bafilminga maama we nga ne maama we waali. Naga nti maama we awulira atya. Ochiraba.
But I got the message here that teachers, just as parents at home, can be good role models to guide on the dressing code among young people.
And this starts when some parents are housewives, or at times you're at home and the parent is wearing a short. Doesn't know that has an impact on a child, because the children copy parents. So so it grows up knowing that it is okay at my age, at my profession, to wear such a what? So
now there are effects here I want to share. I want to share with our listeners or viewers about poor or inappropriate dressing. Today, among young people, we have high rate of premarital sex. And that's a great effect, because sexually students or young people are tempted wherever they go, among others, while they are half naked, to say. So young parents, be concerned about how your children dress, especially away from the house. Of course, at home, but also away from home. Then provoking them into watching pornography and also masturbation. I'm a counselor in schools, but most students come with issues to do with pornography. Last Monday, I was sharing with about an S2 girl who shared with me her trouble was watching pornography. And these two moved together. She was suffering a challenge of masturbation, but also watching pornography. Where did this start from? It started from, of
The
course,
shows,
the gadgets.
and
The
even the
gadgets,
shows, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The gadgets at home, the TV shows or media. But also, remember, when these students see people who are not dressed appropriately, it can provoke them in one way to find out by watching pornography. We have seen defilement cases as a result of inappropriate dressing. And on media, on news, they report young girls being defiled. And lastly, maybe rape, to say. Rape cases are often in schools, universities, or also communities as a result of inappropriate dressing. Let's train our children to dress appropriately. This program is brought to you by an organization called Students Habitation Center Uganda, which is concerned about violence at home as one of the reasons why children cannot be parented well because of violence. I have a student from Madame Suzan's school who is the head boy called Barije Tobias Emmanuel. I want us to listen to his message to your parents against domestic violence.
Yeah, thank you.
Greetings to all viewers. My name is Barije Tobias Emmanuel. I am in Primary 6, Assistant Head Boy, Mukono Primary School. I have come to talk about violence. Violence is a physical force intended to harm, damage, and kill anyone. There are 5 forms of violence, and they include physical violence, psychological violence, sexual violence, emotional violence, and neglect. But on my interest, I will only put my emphasis on 2, which are physical violence and neglect. I will begin with physical violence. Physical violence is violating someone physically, meaning you can see. For example, burning someone, beating someone, punching someone, kicking someone, and so many others. They can lead to injuries, and they can affect someone's academic performance. For example, a child can get an injury on a hand, and that child may fail to write. That's already affecting the child's academic performance. Because when that child will write, he or she will feel pain. And there is neglect. Neglect is a state of being uncared for, or is failure to care for someone. Neglect has examples. For example, we have delay of paying school fees for children, and so many others. This can lead to school dropouts. Children may fail to go to school. Children may lack scholastic materials for writing and doing other school stuff, which may also affect their academic performance and well-being. Thank you. I remain Barije Tobias Emmanuel, Assistant Head Boy, Mukono Primary School.
Oh, you had a very smart and intelligent young boy, head boy, future leader.
Yeah.
He talked about negligence.
Yeah.
Parents don't neglect children, take care of them, especially as regards dressing, because it is affecting our children in a number of ways.
Yeah, and
yes,
we have worked out on how to make their parents improve on the dressing. We have put rules and regulations, and actually we have a chart on our entries and exit points. So our gatekeepers know that once you are dressed inappropriate, you don't enter the gate.
Mr. Susan, in 1 minute, time is up.
Yeah.
I want you to send your last words to young people, particularly young people. Of course, parents too, because they also disturb.
Young people, it's good to be young, and it's your right to be young. But I want to assure you that once we are young, we have to live responsibly. Yes, we have our rights. We have our rights to be listened to. We have our rights to do what we want, but at the same time, we should live responsibly because our future tells. And we have a lot to answer, and we don't want to come out with a life that will make us miserable just because we misused our rights. Live responsibly.
What about parents?
The parents, as the young boy has said, take care of your children. Be a role model. And please, be conscious of whatever you do. Mumaso g'omwana wo.
Yes.
Omulezi otya. Kubanga naawe olina ebibuuzo. Okyalinayo okuswala. Omwana gw'oleese ali atya mu nsi. You are preparing this child to have a happy marriage, to have a good career. You have to instill in her social skills, life skills, and social values. So parents, don't neglect your children, but be role models.
Thank you so much. Romans 12, chapter, verse 2 says, do not be conformed to the standards of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Dear young people, take care. Don't follow the trends. The trends may destroy you for life. But listen to your parents. As parents, we encourage you to appropriately take care of your children and be good role models as God's dressing. God bless you. Enjoy your night.
Thank you.